I'm Makini Smith. After going through a divorce, my sister passing away, experiencing narcissistic abuse, and some significant health scares, I realized through sharing my story that I wasn't alone in my suffering. Suffering, subjective distress generated by the experience of being out of balance. In a deep dive to holistically heal mind, body, and soul is where I discovered peace, clarity, and connection. It is impossible to be truly wise without some real life hardship, and we cannot develop post-traumatic wisdom without making it through, and most importantly, through it together. Social connection builds resilience, and resilience helps create post-traumatic wisdom, and that wisdom leads to hope. Hope for you and others witnessing and participating in your healing, and hope for your community. A healthy community is a healing community, and a healing community is full of hope because it has seen its own people weather, survive, and thrive. Welcome back to the Heal Her podcast. I'm your host, Makini Smith, and I am so grateful to be here with you today. This is a space for healing, empowerment, alignment, and love. Before we dive in, let's talk self-care. My latest book, Shades of You, an affirmation journal coloring book to help you find peace, clarity, and connection, is an adult coloring book designed for Black women and women of color to relax, de-stress, and celebrate our beauty and strength. Discover the transformative power of adult coloring. Think coloring is just for kids? Think again. Adult coloring is more than just a creative outlet. It's a proven way to relax, refocus, and recharge in today's fast-paced world. If meditation isn't your thing, coloring can provide the same mindfulness benefits, helping you reconnect with the present moment while fostering curiosity, openness, and acceptance. When life feels overwhelming, take a break from the chaos, grab your favorite colors, carve out a few moments for your peace, and watch how this simple practice transforms your mindset. Take a moment for yourself and grab your copy on Amazon or at makinismith.com. Today's episode is all about letting go and embracing growth in this new season of life. If you are ready to release what no longer serves you and step boldly into your next level, then this episode is for you. So I'm going to challenge you to grab a journal, take a deep breath, and let's get into it. So let's talk about letting go. Before we can fully step into the life that we desire, we first have to make room for it. So that means releasing the things that have been weighing us down, holding us back, or keeping us stuck in these cycles that are no longer in alignment with who we are becoming. It's important for us to let go for many reasons. And I feel that it's necessary in order for us to have the capacity and room that we need for the life that we desire. So letting go, isn't about losing. It's about making space for more. When we cling to the things that no longer serve us, we block our blessings. So imagine carrying a heavy backpack full of things you no longer need. The moment you set it down, you feel lighter, freer, and you're able to move forward with ease. So let's talk about 20 things that you need to let go of this year, if you haven't already. So let's start with number one. Seeing as I'm a mindset coach, I'm a mindset magician, and I'm here to help you identify and overcome those limiting beliefs. Number one is letting go of limiting beliefs. It's time to stop doubting yourself and your potential. It's time to release any thoughts that you are not capable or worthy or deserving of success, because that is a lie from the pit of hell. Number two is perfectionism. You know, done is better than perfect. So stop waiting for the perfect moment or trying to do everything flawlessly. It's progress over perfection. If I had waited to be perfect for anything, I would not have done anything at all. Even starting this podcast, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know how to edit. I didn't even like the sound of my own voice. And I took a leap of faith and I decided to remove the idea of perfectionism and started with what I had in that moment. And here we are, 6.5 years later. Number three is comparison. You know, your journey is uniquely yours. You know, let go of comparing your journey to other people. Your path is unique and your timing is divine. You know, we often look at other people's lives or circumstances or accolades and feel like we are either less than or above them. Everyone's timing is different. We don't know what their journey is. We don't know the life lessons that they've had to learn. We don't like there are life lessons that we have to learn in order to get to where we're trying to go. So comparison is the thief of joy. Think about what are your priorities because that could differ from the person that you're comparing yourself to. You may have different values, you may have different beliefs, you may have different needs. Number four is the fear of failure. Honestly, failure is just feedback. You know, if we view failure as lessons and not endings, we'll be so much better off. You know, growth comes from stepping outside of our comfort zone. Number five, we need to let go of toxic relationships. If it's draining you, it's not for you. It's time to distance yourself from people who drain your energy and don't support your growth. That goes for family, friends, that goes for coworkers, that goes for anyone around you that is an energy vampire. You know, sometimes we look at these titles or the length of time that we know someone and we give them a pass for their behavior. Or we say, you know, I've known this person forever. That's just how they are. It's time to let go of those toxic relationships. Number six, over apologizing. You do not need to apologize for existing. You do not need to shrink yourself or apologize for taking up space, having boundaries, or prioritizing yourself. I know so many amazing people, and I feel like it's their go to over apologize for everything and anything. You know, we don't need to over explain who we are to people who are committed to misunderstanding us. We don't need to over apologize for how we were created. Number seven, we need to let go of people pleasing. It's time to prioritize yourself unapologetically. Start prioritizing yourself instead of constantly seeking approval from other people. Not everyone is going to like you. That's okay. You don't like everyone. Number eight, we need to let go of negative self talk. Speak life over yourself. Speak to yourself with kindness and affirm your worth daily. I had a really good friend of mine remind me a few years ago that I need to give myself as much grace as I give to other people. And as nice and kind as I am to other people, I need to speak those nice and kind things to myself. Number nine, holding on to your past. You know, it's okay to learn the lesson, but then we need to move forward. So stop reliving past mistakes or painful experiences because they're not actually helping us. You know, we have to learn, we have to heal, and we have to move forward. When we are constantly ruminating and replaying and retelling all of those old stories, we are not only holding on to the past, but we're holding on to our past hurts. I used to spend a lot of time speaking about my past unhealthy relationships, past trauma, past experiences with women stabbing me in the back, and all of those things. But our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. And it kept triggering me, and I was reliving those painful memories and experiences over and over and over again. So I had to take the lesson that I was supposed to learn from that past experience. I focused on my healing, and I'm able to move forward in a more positive way. Number 10, procrastination. Action creates clarity. There's a saying that action removes doubt, doubt removes action. When we take action on our dreams, even if it's one small step at a time, that is forward movement. Number 11 of what we need to let go, unrealistic expectations. Give yourself some grace. Be gentle with yourself. Life isn't always linear, and that's okay. Not only do we need to let go of the unrealistic expectations of ourselves, but we need to let go of the unrealistic expectations of other people. Sometimes we view other people and their actions or their reactions how we would view ourselves. And that's not fair. They don't have the same experiences. They don't have the same knowledge. They don't have the same history. So we're all going to react differently to things. We're also imposing our beliefs or expectations on other people, which is unfair. Number 12, we need to let go of the scarcity mindset. There is enough success for everyone, including you. I strongly believe God does not run out of blessings. So shifting from there's never enough to abundance is available to me is a mindset that will definitely be helpful for you. Number 13, we need to let go of overthinking. Trust your intuition and take aligned action instead of dwelling in analysis paralysis. Number 14, we need to let go of ignoring our mental health. We need to prioritize our healing. Healing and self-care are not luxuries, they're necessities. I remember years ago when I was doing a lot of sharing on my platforms about self-love and getting a lot of flack for it, especially from certain communities. And it was seen as being selfish. Self-love is not selfish. Self-care is not selfish. Our mental health is not selfish. These are priorities. These are things that are required for our healing, and we need to learn to stop feeling guilty for it. We need to stop ignoring our mental and emotional health. Number 15, we need to let go of trying to control everything. We need to surrender to divine timing. Learn to trust the process. I grew up hearing the saying that God's timing is different than mine. So when we have this need to control everything, it creates anxiety. When we have this need to try to control other people, we push them away. When we have this need to control every single aspect of our lives, we remove the joy and the creativity and the openness to experience new things. Number 16, we need to let go of resisting change. Honestly, not only does growth require change, but that we can't escape change. Life is constantly changing. We are constantly changing. We need to learn to embrace it with an open heart, or we're going to end up being very resentful and angry. Number 17, we need to let go of guilt and shame. Forgive yourself and move forward. Forgive yourself for your past decisions because you're evolving every day. When I look at past relationships or past friendships or past people that I trusted or past business partnerships that didn't work out, I have to forgive myself and move forward. Those are decisions that I made at the time, based on where I was mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially. Those were decisions that I made based on the information that I had at the time. So it's time that we remove and let go of the guilt and shame. Forgive yourself for the past decisions. You're evolving every day. Number 18, overcommitting. We need to let go of overcommitting and protect our energy. Say no to things that don't align with your values or that drain your energy. I had a friend well, she's still a friend. I have a friend that used to overcommit constantly on weekends and was only ever able to pop by for a function because they had many functions or many meetings or meetups or places to be, events that they had to or felt they had to appear at in a day. And that just sounds exhausting to me. We can't manage time, but we can manage the activities that we do with our time. So we can be more more intentional with our time. There's a book called Essentialism. Um, and being an essentialist, it's like first taking a look at what's a priority to you. What is it that is important to you? What is it that is in alignment with your goals and your dreams? And when we remove the things that are not, we make space so that we have the energy and capacity for the things that we are in alignment with. And we're protecting our energy because we're no longer feeling drained by things that are out of alignment with who and what we are. Number 19, we need to let go of clutter. Physically, mentally, and emotionally clear the space. Declutter your space and your mind to make room for new blessings. You know, when my kids were growing up, they called me the garbage lady because if I saw a pile of mess somewhere, I'm throwing it in the garbage. I love to declutter, and I know that my space is a reflection of what is going on in my mind. So if I start to see clutter in my home or in my car, it's a reflection of what is happening in my head. There's actually studies that prove, our environment is a reflection of what's going on in our head. So when we see someone who's being a hoarder, it's a reflection of what is going on in their head. So we need to let go of clutter, clear the space. And number 20, we need to let go of doubting your power. You are capable of more than you know. Majority of us have only tapped into 10% of our potential. So step boldly into your greatness and own your story. Now, I want you to take a moment. Which of these things are you holding on to? What are you ready to release? I want to share a personal story. I guess of when I had to let go of something that was holding me back. I I had this belief because I had so many experiences with toxic men that good men didn't exist. And that belief kept me from healthy relationships. And when I started to look at the good men around me, the men that loved me, the men that respected me, the men that made me feel seen, heard, and understood, I realized that good men do exist. I had good men that were friends. I have my father who's a good man. I have relatives that are good men. I have good men that I have met in business. And I realized good men do exist. And when I removed that belief and I opened myself up to a healthy relationship, I realized that I had a good man right in front of me, a man that I had gone to high school with, a man that I've known since I was 15 years old, a man that I have been friends with all of this time, a man that we had, I've been present for his children's birthday parties. We'd been present for each other's losses and grief of family members. And I am now engaged to him. So good men do exist. I had to let go of the belief that good men did not exist, that all men were cheaters, that all men were liars, that all men were horrible, because that is not the truth. That was a belief that I had based on some experiences. And I had to take a good look at the facts versus my feelings. And the fact was, I am connected to a lot of amazing, amazing men. What I learned was that the moment I let go of that belief, I made space for better opportunities, deeper peace, and true alignment with my purpose. Now that we've talked about what to let go of, let's shift our focus to what we need to embrace to create the life that we truly desire. It's essential to embrace for many reasons. I mean, growth is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Every new level requires a new version of you. Every time I have been elevated, it required a new version of me. The old self, the old version of me had to die in order for a new version of me to be born. It's also essential, if we think of a butterfly, the transformation takes time, but the results are completely worth it. So, here are a list of 20 things to adopt this year. Number one, a growth mindset. Challenges are opportunities to grow. If we believe that challenges are opportunities to grow and not obstacles that are there to stop us, we open ourselves up to a world of opportunities. We open ourselves up to exploration, to creativity. We open ourselves up to new connections and new relationships. We open ourselves up to blessings. Number two, I want you to adopt daily gratitude. What you focus on grows. Appreciate what you have, and you'll attract more to be grateful for. When I first learned about the gratitude practice, I kind of brushed it off as something simple. And once I realized how it transformed my life, that's why I created my gratitude journal. Number three, I want you to adopt self-love. You're already enough. Speak to yourself with kindness and remind yourself that you are worthy, that you are enough. Number four, I want you to adopt taking action. I strongly believe that inspiration is great, but action is better. Small steps lead to big changes. So no more overthinking. Start now, even if the first step is small. The results are in the action. We can listen to the podcast, we can read the book, we can go to the seminar, but if we're not taking action, there's no progress. Number five, I want you to adopt healthy boundaries. Protect your peace. Protect your peace by saying no to what drains you and yes to what fuels you. My motto is, if it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no. Number six, personal development. If you are not already doing so, it is time to invest in yourself. Read the books, take the courses, hire a coach, myself preferably, whatever it takes to level up. Investing in personal development is probably one of the greatest investments that I have ever made. Sometimes we look at the financial investment for quicker or greater transformation, and there's no guarantee, but you get out of it what you put into it. I have invested many thousands of dollars on personal development, and I don't regret 1 cent. Number seven, we need to adopt having more positive relationships. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Align with those who inspire you and push you to be better. Done are the days where we're surrounded by toxic people and we're, just tolerating their behavior or their sarcasm or their negative talk. Surround yourself with positive people. Number 8, we need to adopt consistency. Small efforts compound over time. Motivation can fade, but discipline and consistent habits will sustain your success. Number 9, mindfulness. I want you to be present in every single moment. Be fully present in each moment instead of worrying about the past or the future. When we are focused on the past, we create depression. When we are too focused on the future, we create anxiety. So I want you to be mindful and present. I want you to put your phone down and enjoy the company that you are around. I want you to take a look outside and appreciate the beautiful art that God has created for us, nature, and all the wonderful things that are around you. Number 10, I want you to adopt a wealth mindset. Money flows where focus goes. Having a wealth mindset, we need to stop thinking small. Embrace abundance and that idea that you are deserving of success. Number 11, I want you to adopt healing and forgiveness. Let go of resentment. Free yourself by forgiving others, and most importantly, yourself. I believe I did an episode probably about 2 years or so, speaking about how I worked through resentment in therapy, how I felt resentment towards people that I felt didn't look out for me or protect me or have my best interests at heart. I forgive them. I don't know what their motives are. I don't know what they were going through. I don't know what their obstacles or struggles or adversities were, but I forgive them. And most importantly, I forgive myself for the decisions that I made with information I didn't have. Number 12, self-care. That's different than number 3, which was self-love. So self-care, your wellness matters. Prioritize rest, movement, hydration, and things that nourish your mind, body, and soul. I have a self-care routine that is divided into mind, body, and soul. And I make sure that I am prioritizing each of those areas, because if we're only focused on one, we lack in other areas. Number 13, I want you to adopt taking risks. Growth is outside of your comfort zone. When you are staying within your comfort zone and you're not taking, even if they're calculated risks, then you're not growing intentionally. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Your next level is on the other side of fear. Interesting enough, when I wrote my first book, I shared how, I had looked at the acronym of fear, FEAR, as false evidence appearing real. And when I shifted that to face everything and rise, life, life happened. My fear of flying kept me from traveling and I had to work through that. My fear of being around too many people, the social anxiety kept me from connections. My fear of public speaking kept me from making an impact. So I want you to think about taking risks because your growth is on the other side of fear. Number 14, I want you to adopt owning your story. Your past makes you powerful. Your experiences make you powerful. Share them, embrace them, and inspire other people. Your story is a blueprint to help someone else. You don't have to share intimate details if you know, choose not to, but think about from a different perspective how you can be helpful, useful, how you can serve, how you can uplift by sharing your story. Number 15, I want you to adopt a faith over fear mindset. Trust the process. Trust that everything is working out for you, even when you can't see it yet. There have been many things that have happened to me in my past, and in the moment, it was like, oh, like why me, God? Like why is this happening to me? And I had learned through my mentor Bob Proctor, anytime something happens, ask yourself what good can come from this. Sometimes something happens in the moment and we are programmed to look at the bad. We are programmed to look at the losses or the bad things or the bad feelings that we have about it in that moment. But later we're like, oh, that was such a blessing. Oh, that was such an amazing thing. Or that led me to this opportunity. So have a faith over fear mindset. Trust the process. Number 16, I want you to adopt celebrating your wins. Acknowledge your progress, big or small. Acknowledge it and be proud of your progress, no matter what size it is. Learning to celebrate my small wins has been instrumental in my growth and my happiness. When we wait for the end result or we wait for the big finish or the big thing to celebrate, we're holding ourselves back from joy. We're holding ourselves back from amazing blessings that will allow us to even feel like we want to do more. Number 17, I want you to adopt journaling. It can help us gain so much clarity through reflection. Writing your thoughts helps you process your emotions, set goals, and manifest more clearly. I know journaling, some people say it's not for me, but I want you to think of it as your safe space. No one else has to read it. It's your place where you can emotionally dump all of your thoughts and feelings, where you can see what your thoughts are. So it can help you get clarity and to organize those thoughts. It can help you have a place of reflection to look back on. So journaling for reflection and clarity. Number 18, saying yes to new experiences. Be open to opportunities. Step outside of your comfort zone and explore, learn, and evolve. There are so many things that I have said yes to that I was like, why didn't I say yes to this sooner? Number 19, decluttering and simplicity. I want you to adopt, clearing out anything physically, mentally, emotionally that no longer serves you. And number 20, being unapologetically yourself. I want you to adopt standing in your power. Walk in your truth, your authenticity. Walk into it with confidence. I want you to pick 3 things from this list to focus on this month. Even if you have to go back and re-listen and write down the 20 things that you need to let go and the 20 things that you need to adopt. I want you to set a daily reminder or an affirmation related to them. So if you know that you struggle to embrace being unapologetically yourself, your affirmation could be, I am so happy and grateful now that I am unapologetically myself. I am standing in my power. I want you to journal about your progress each week. And I want you to surround yourself with people who support your growth. In order to implement these changes, not only do we need a healthy community and accountability partners, but we also need to make commitments to ourselves. We also need to be able to reflect on our own choices, on our thoughts, our beliefs, our behaviors, and our decisions. I would love for you to take a few minutes to reflect. What is one thing you're letting go of? And what's one thing you're embracing? If you're called, send me a DM on Instagram at the real Makini Smith or tag me on social media and let me know. If you have enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to pour into yourself too. The Shades of You adult coloring book is a celebration of Black and women of color's beauty and self-care through coloring. Relax, reflect, and express yourself. Grab your copy today on Amazon or at makinismith.com. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to remind you, you are not stuck. You're not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, and you have the power to create the life that you desire. Let go of what's been holding you back and step boldly into your purpose. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone that needs to hear it. Screenshot it, post it on social media, and you can tag me at The Real Makini Smith. Let's continue this conversation. Don't forget to subscribe, rate the show, and leave us a review. It helps us reach more women who need this message. And thanks to those of you that continue to listen each week to help the show rank globally in the top 1.5% of most popular podcasts out there. And there are over 3 million. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing healing. And thank you for showing up for yourself today. Until next time, keep honoring, elevating, aligning, and loving yourself. You've got this.